Hi guys, and welcome to today's session. So we're going to be carrying on with this these character sort of studies, sketches again today. And what we're going to be starting with is just kind of starting to wash some color over them. So I'm going to be using a paint brush. I just like to use a round brush for basic sort of painting. And I'm going to pick a color. So let's go maybe for like a blue sort of base for the sort of gunslingery type guy. Might end up looking a bit more like a soldier, and we're going to make this new layer a multiply layer. So what that means is I can paint just directly over that black sketch that's underneath, and well, actually let's go for blue on top, and if I kind of lighten off, I can start to kind of model a little bit, play around a little bit with sort of giving a bit of depth to the clothing. So like that, almost becomes like a little bit of a watercolor wash. Let's do that, and let's maybe go for more of a kind of mustardy color for his trousers. So you see, if I'm kind of light over it, you get this sort of washy effect, which is quite nice for sort of starting a character sketch. And then I'll go for a much darker color for his boots. Maybe more of a white for his gloves. Can we go back to, I don't know actually, maybe a sort of browny colour? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So yeah, sort of brownish for his gloves, and then his hat would either maybe be kind of brown. Yeah, possibly give him quite dark brown hair. His hair was supposed to kind of look a bit long, and then we can pick a kind of some skin tone, kind of a little bit more pinkish than that. So if I need to kind of like pick a colour, I can go back, pick it. So I just wanted to like put a little bit, maybe a shadow kind of being cast by his little coat over the top of his trousers. Start to kind of, as I say, building form a little bit while we're doing this. So I'm to give a bit of a suggestion of folds, creases. sort of pull some shadow down as well from the hat, which maybe could go kind of, I intended it to be a bit darker, I think, from that initial sketch, so let's go a bit darker with that. I'll pull it across a little bit more as well. So after this initial sort of sketching point, we're going to do a sort of full overpaint, but this kind of just gives us our sort of like a basis for it. So that's that figure blocked in. We can skip to the next one. So if we'll sort of start assuming that this is going to be kind of like leather sort of armor that he's wearing. So let's sort of get that all sort of washed in. Go a little bit darker, be a bit more specific. So maybe it's kind of bending kind of from either side. And same goes, maybe it's kind of like leathery sort of stuff dropping off his helmet here, but let's make the helmet silver. So more for a sort of silvery colour. It's then got like a sort of highlight at the top. So same goes for all the bits that we kind of made armour. Lower down, use this maybe kind of grey wash as a basis. We'll just start to get kind of like a sense of a sheen on the armour a bit. And we can also need to put a bit of a flesh tone in for this one as well. So the studs can be kind of greyish as well, kind of just start to get that suggested too. Maybe get a little bit of a white highlight on some of the armour, starting to kind of build the sense that it's a bit more reflective than the other materials. And that's not looking too bad. So that brings us to the last dude, which he's probably got more of a kind of maybe like a yellowish coat. We can go for him. And this one we can block in really quick. Yeah, it's quite nice, actually, kind of greenish. I'll do a kind of matching hat and a matching colour. Maybe a bit more mustardy for his turtleneck thingy. Yeah, that's looking quite nice. And for his shoes, we'll go maybe kind of like a, or maybe just sort of black actually for his, like proper black. And again, the gun, obviously a bit more silver. We can take that flesh tone from the other guy, get that kind of blocked over. And yeah, that's finish for this session. So we've got all our colours blocked in, and then next week we can kind of go in and start to, maybe map some faces over, proper faces, start to render some of the features out, or the clothing. But we've got like a kind of interesting diverse range. So that's the idea. You just sort of do these variants basically. So yeah, have a crack at that in your own time. As always, you can ask questions in the comments if you've got any. If you want to kind of keep up to date with more videos from myself and other tutors from the school, you can click the link, just subscribe on our YouTube, sorry. And if you want to find out the sorts of paid qualifications we offer, you can click the link in our description, and that will take you through to our courses. So yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys next week.